I woke to the scent of metal and something sweet, like crushed flowers mixed with electricity. My wrists were bound, not with rope, but with glowing rings that hummed softly against my skin. The ceiling above me was not a ceiling at all, but a shifting dome of living crystal that pulsed with slow, deliberate light. I wasn't on Earth anymore. The last thing I remembered was the mission. Our scout ship pioneers dawn crossing the edge of an uncharted nebula. A flash of violet light. A vibration that rattled every bone in my body. Then darkness. Now I was lying on a platform shaped like a leaf, surrounded by towering figures with opalescent skin and eyes like polished obsidian. They weren't hostile. They were simply watching, waiting. One stepped forward. She was taller than the rest, her body draped in flowing, translucent fabric that shimmered like oil on water. A crown of delicate crystal branches rose from her head, glowing faintly. I didn't need an introduction to know she was important. A voice entered my mind without sound. "You are awake, human." My throat went dry. "Telepathy," I whispered. "We speak through thought. Your species is inefficient with vocal cords." She raised a hand, and the glowing restraints vanished. I sat up, rubbing my wrists. I wasn't hurt, not even sore. Whatever they had done, they knew how to handle prisoners gently. "Where is my crew?" I asked. Her expression softened, if a face that alien could soften at all. "Your vessel is intact. Your companions live. They sleep in comfort. They will remain safe." "That's good," I said slowly. "So, why am I here?" The Queen's eyes shimmered. Something like sorrow flickered in them. "Because my daughter has chosen you." I blinked. "I'm sorry." The Queen extended her hand. The air rippled. An image formed, a being like her, but smaller, younger, her colors brighter. Her gaze locked onto mine with startling intensity. "She saw you in the moment our fleets pulled your ship from collapse. She touched your mind. She felt your will, your defiance, your compassion for your crew. She declared you worthy." I swallowed. "Worthy of what?" The Queen's voice became heavier, resonant, like a bell struck in deep water. "Marriage." For a long moment, I thought this had to be a hallucination. "You want me to marry your daughter?" "Yes." "And if I refuse?" The Queen's expression did not change, but the air grew colder. "Then you will remain here as our guest. Forever." "A captive," I said. "You will be treated well. You will want for nothing. But you will not return to your world." I stared at her. I had prepared for alien invasions, for interrogation, even death. I had not prepared for a royal proposal at interstellar gunpoint. "Can I see her?" I asked at last. The Queen inclined her head. "You will meet Princess Salith." They led me through halls grown rather than built. The walls curved like the insides of seashells, glowing veins of energy running beneath translucent surfaces. The floor felt warm under my bare feet. We entered a garden beneath an open sky of swirling auroras. Strange plants sang softly in harmonic tones. Floating orbs of light drifted lazily, like jellyfish. And there she was. Princess Salith stood beside a pool of silver liquid, her reflection dancing in ripples. She turned as I approached. Her eyes were enormous, filled with galaxies of tiny lights. Her skin glowed in shifting blues and greens, like deep ocean waters under sun. "Human James Carter," she said directly into my mind. "You are afraid." I snorted despite myself. "Can you blame me?" A flicker of amusement danced across her features. "I have studied your species through your ship's records. You value choice, autonomy, love earned, not commanded." "That's true," I said. "I do not wish to cage you," she continued. "But I need you. Why? I asked. She walked to the pool and touched the surface. The silver liquid rose, forming an image of a dying world. Cities in ruin, towers broken, a sky burning. Our civilization is old, she said. We have mastered energy and thought, but we have grown fragile. We have lost the instinct to struggle, to endure, to rebuild. Our birth rates fall. Our minds grow tired. We are fading. I stared at the image. My mother believes binding with a human, your species so young, so fierce, so resilient, will renew our line. A merging of will, a bridge between stars. So I'm breeding stock, I muttered. Her eyes flashed. Not stock. Partner. Equal. If you accept. I crossed my arms. And if I don't? Her voice softened. Then my mother will not release you, because your refusal would shame our royal line. And shame cannot be allowed. There it was. The truth. Polite words around a steel cage. I looked away, gazing up at the alien sky. My crew were alive. Earth was out there, unaware I had become the centerpiece of an interstellar dynastic crisis. I thought of home, of humanity, of everything we'd fought to build. If I agreed, I would never return. If I refused, I would never return. But one option gave me a voice, a chance, a way to influence these beings from the inside. Humanity had survived predators, plagues, world wars, and the cold void of space. We didn't break. We adapted. HFY, humanity, F********, yeah. I met her gaze again. I'll consider it, I said. But on my terms. The queen was not pleased when I made my demands. I stood before her throne, Salith beside me, her hands folded calmly. I had spent a day thinking, planning, remembering every negotiation tactic the Academy had ever drilled into me. If I marry your daughter, I said, I want 3 things. The queen's eyes narrowed. Speak. 1. My crew goes free immediately. They return home with a full explanation and no harm. Agreed. 2. I am not a prisoner. I will walk your world freely. I will speak with your people. Learn your ways. The queen hesitated. Agreed. And 3, I said, heart pounding, my marriage must be by mutual consent. If at any point Salith or I choose to end it, we may. No punishment. No captivity. The silence that followed felt endless. Finally, the queen stood. You ask much, human. I am giving much, I replied. Her gaze bore into me like gravity. Then she raised her staff, and the air chimed like ringing glass. So be it. The wedding was unlike anything human eyes were meant to see. They gathered beneath a sky of liquid color. The stars above pulsed in rhythm with the ceremony's song. Salith and I stood within a ring of light while thousands of her people watched in silent reverence. We exchanged vows not with words, but with shared thoughts, images, emotions, truths. She showed me her loneliness. I showed her my fear. She showed me her hope. I showed her my stubborn, ridiculous human determination to survive. When the ritual ended, I was not bound. I was free. And yet, I was also husband to an alien princess. The months that followed changed everything. I walked among her people. I learned their history, their art, their sorrow. They were brilliant but stagnant. Immortal minds with nothing left to fight for. I taught them human things. How to build with hands, not just thought. How to create music with imperfect instruments. How to laugh loudly. How to take risks. How to fail and try again. They watched me bicker. Sweat. Bleed. Heal. Keep going. And slowly, their glow brightened. Salith stayed at my side. She was curious, patient, gentle. We spoke often, not through obligation, but genuine interest. What began as arrangement became companionship, and companionship grew into something warm and real. One day, she told me something extraordinary. "We are changing," she said. "Because of you. Our young feel purpose again. They build. They explore. They question." "And your mother?" I asked. Salith smiled faintly. "She admits she was wrong about control. Influence is greater than possession." Years passed. My hair grew streaked with silver. My body aged faster than theirs. But they honored that fragility. They valued it. I stood once more before the Queen. "You promised freedom," I said. "I am asking to return home. Just once. To tell my people what I've learned. To build a bridge between us." The Queen regarded me silently. Then she bowed. "You have given us more than we hoped. We will give you what you ask." I returned to Earth aboard a ship grown from living crystal and human steel. I carried knowledge, technology, philosophy, and the story of a people reborn. Humanity welcomed me home as explorer, diplomat, and legend. But my heart remained among the stars. And when my life neared its end, Salith came for me. She held my hand as I took my last breath under Earth's sky. Her tears fell like starlight. They say now that humanity and the Lithri Empire stand as twin pillars of the Galactic Order. A bond forged not through conquest, but through choice. And somewhere in the palace of living crystal, a statue stands of a fragile human who refused to kneel, refused to break, and taught an ancient species how to live again. Because when humanity faces impossible odds, we adapt, we rise, we say, HFY. I lived long enough to see the impossible become ordinary. Human ships now cross the void using Lithri Living Gate technology. Alien crystal cities rose beside steel human colonies. Children born of both species laughed in playgrounds orbiting twin suns. Humanity had not been conquered. We had not surrendered. We had joined. But time is a law even queens cannot rewrite. My body weakened as decades passed. My heart, stubborn as ever, refused to fail quietly. Salith never left my side. To her people, time flowed gently and endlessly. To me, it raced like a river in spring flood. One night, beneath Earth's sky, I asked her something I had avoided for years. "When I'm gone, will you regret choosing me?" She considered this. Then she pressed her forehead to mine, our thoughts intertwining. "I did not choose you to save my people. I chose you because you are you. The salvation was simply the consequence." I laughed softly. "Leave it to an alien princess to turn love into a cosmic equation. And leave it to a human to find humor at the edge of eternity," she replied. The day came quietly. No palace. No throne. No grand ceremony. Just grass beneath me. Wind through trees. The distant laughter of children carrying both our bloodlines into a future that once should never have existed. Salith held me as my breathing slowed. Her luminous eyes shimmered, not from weakness, but from grief she refused to hide. "My love," I whispered, "promise me one thing. Anything. Never let your people forget that we chose each other. Not fear, not force. Choice." She nodded. "It will be written into history, into law, into memory." My vision blurred. But before darkness took me, I felt her thoughts wrap around mine like warm light. "You were never my prisoner," she said. "You were my beginning." They buried me on Earth, beneath an oak tree overlooking the sea. A simple stone marked the place. James Carter, human ambassador to the stars. He refused to kneel. Across the galaxy, lithary crystals rang in mourning. Ships dimmed their lights. Even the queen bowed her crown in silent respect. For the first time in their ancient history, they grieved not an immortal, but a mortal who changed eternity. Centuries later, a young girl stood before my statue in the Crystal Palace. She was half human, half lithary. Her eyes carried stars and stormlight both. "Mother Saleth," she asked, "why do humans matter so much to us?" Saleth knelt beside her daughter and touched the statue's hand. "Because when faced with a cage," she said, "they do not ask how strong the bars are. They ask how to break them." And so the story passed into legend, not of conquest, not of domination, but of a single human who stood before a queen, refused to surrender his will, and turned captivity into alliance. A reminder written across the galaxy. Humanity does not bow. Humanity does not fade. Humanity rises. HFY.